What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here with your top 5 stories from Comicbook.com's Halloween weekend. Happy Halloween. I spent the weekend on the set of Outcast and at Walker Stalker Con in Atlanta, so you better believe we're talking about all of that and more in Comic Book Now. First up, the King has arrived on The Walking Dead. Khary Payton's Ezekiel made his debut on the AMC series last night, and audiences fell in love with the new character. Myself included, he is ripped straight from the pages of Robert Kirkman's comics. The King leads the kingdom by gallivanting around with profound speeches ready for Middle-earth, or maybe some LARPing. The new character is exactly what The Walking Dead needed, though, after that brutal and violent Season 7 premiere. In fact, Ezekiel's right-hand man, Jerry, played by Cooper Andrews, actually brought a touch of humor to the series. Yes, that's right, last night's episode was funny. I know, right? I had the chance to talk to Khary about it. I'll be talking to Cooper Andrews later this afternoon. You can catch those interviews up on ComicBook.com right now. So go to ComicBook.com/TheWalkingDead. We went inside the episode with Khary Payton. It was a blast. He's an awesome guy, so I totally hope you guys go check out that interview. Next up, some details are surfacing regarding Alien Covenant. Here's what Michael Fassbender had to say about his role in the movie. I'm allowed to say I am playing 2 robots, Walter and David. I think what's great about it is that Ridley Scott has gone back to do the original DNA of Alien, the horror element of that, but is also has the scope and the scale of Prometheus. Ridley has cut it already. He is a machine. He is an incredible human being, and he was in such good form. He is such an imaginative and mischievous figure. I've already heard quite a bit about this movie from the early cuts of Alien Covenant, and what Fassbender is saying about his multi-robot role is only the tip of the iceberg for what he has in store for that movie's plot. If you enjoyed Prometheus, it sounds like you're really going to like this movie. If you didn't love Prometheus, it's going to build on that movie big time, and there's a big twist involving Fassbender. I'm not going to say more than that. I'm done there. Alien Covenant is still almost a year away, but hitting theaters this Friday is Doctor Strange. But what about Doctor Strange? Like Dog-ter? No? All right, just roll it.
First, there was the hero who wore the suit of iron. Then a scientist with anger issues. The god of thunder himself. And of course, the first Avenger. Now it's time for a new hero to rise. One who will fight to protect the very fabric of reality itself. Behold the majesty of Doctor Strange. Do something.
Yeah, no, it's a tough gig. I'm a classically trained actor, but you've got to do what you've got to do.
Rated PG-13.
More like the Eye of Dogimoto, am I right? Okay, I had to. I'm done with the puns, I swear. Doctor Strange has already shattered box office expectations overseas. We have those numbers for you on ComicBook.com, so go check them out. Also on ComicBook.com right now, it looks like the plot of Game of Thrones' 7th season has leaked online. We're not going to run through any of them here, partially because I have not read them. I don't want to. But I also suspect that many of you wouldn't want to have the 8 of the last 13 episodes of Thrones spoiled for you. If you do, because you're one of those weird people who love spoilers, you can read about it on ComicBook.com. You can head over there now and check it out. I've heard some mixed reactions to it from the guys who have read it. Finally, Outcast Season 2 is still several months away. Are you guys watching that show? Let us know in the comments section. But in preparation for the new run on Cinemax, ComicBook.com was invited out to the set of the series over the weekend. I had the chance to sit down with Robert Kirkman, creator of The Walking Dead and Outcast, Ren Schmidt, Reg E. Cathy, Brent Spiner, and Patrick Fugit to talk about what's in store for Season 2. And it looks like the show will be picking up the pace and finally answering some questions. Not only that, we're going to get a couple new characters, such as Hoon Lee playing Dr. Park, and some badass females who will be wielding shotguns, is what I'm told by Reg Cathy. A release date hasn't been set yet for the show, for the 2017 return, but I would expect it in the early part. They're almost done filming. So now let's turn it over to questions. Brandon sounds like he woke up 7 minutes ago. Thanks, Sam. It was a busy weekend. We were out there at Walker Stalker Con catching up. We have a lot of good interviews from Walker Stalker Con coming up on the site. We got Lenny James. We recapped last night's Kingdom episode of The Walking Dead with Lenny James, and that's coming up in just a little bit on the site. So I hope you guys are Gonna check that out. Do you think Deadpool needs a more seasoned director? I don't know. Tim Miller would have been great. I'm so sad to see him leave. But I think, I don't know. I think Deadpool is one of those things where it's just you either have it or you don't. I mean, if you look at Thor Ragnarok, Taika Waititi, I wouldn't call him super seasoned, but what I saw on that set was remarkable. What he's doing with that movie looks remarkable. And he was doing indie films before a Marvel Studios film. So I think it's one of those things where you have it or you don't. And they are going to pick. They're when they pick somebody, they do it because they have faith in them. And Ryan Reynolds is going to have to agree with them because, or else they'll get bullied out. Any news on Spider-Man: Homecoming? I've got nothing right now. Do you think the Kingdom will help Rick's group? I can tell you, yes, the Kingdom will help Rick's group. If you read the comics, the Kingdom is a focal point now, and I think especially after the reaction to Ezekiel from last night, fans are loving Ezekiel. I think he's the best thing to happen to the show, possibly since it started. He's exactly what the show needed at exactly the right time. He's bringing a sense of levity. He's bringing something completely fresh to the show that we have never seen before. We've never seen anything like this. So I think Kari Payton's addition is great, and I know for a fact they're going to help Rick's group. They're going to fight against Negan. But it's going to take some convincing. Rick is going to have to convince Ezekiel to help him fight that war because Ezekiel and the Kingdom aren't living that bad, even considering that they're serving Negan. My overall opinion of Luke Cage, good show, very different from Daredevil and Jessica Jones. It set a tone that neither of them did. All three of them stand on their own. I think that's the best part of the Marvel Netflix world. Let's do a couple more questions here. Would I own a pet tiger? I mean, yeah. What do you mean? Of course I would own a pet tiger. Will there still be a Planet Hulk film 2021 by Universal and Marvel? I haven't heard anything about that. I can tell you that I don't think that was ever planned. Planet Hulk is very much in Thor Ragnarok. There's a lot of elements of Planet Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. I can tell you that much. It's basically, if you considered Civil War Iron Man 4, you will consider Thor Ragnarok a Hulk movie just as much as you'll consider it a Thor movie. So that's really cool. I do not play Marvel Contest of Champions. Any news on Fantastic Four coming back to Marvel? I'm going to go ahead and say that's not happening because Kevin Feige just said the X-Men are not coming back. That said, Fox sees more value in the X-Men, I'm sure, than they do in the Fantastic Four at this point. So maybe they'd be willing to part ways or collaborate on a Fantastic Four movie with Disney, but I don't think Marvel and Disney have all that much need or interest. So if it was something where they would have to shell out the cash to get the rights back, I can't imagine why they would do that. Let's get one last question. We'll do two because I really like this one from Ignacio. How's Gears of War 4 going? I haven't played it enough. I love it. It's the best. Will there be an Avengers vs. X-Men film in 2027? Says Sky Patterson. Sky, loyal viewer. Thanks for watching. No, I don't. That's. I mean, I'm sure. I know you're just kidding. But I would love to see that. I would love to see. I mean, we'll never get Avengers vs. X-Men, but I think there could be a point where they build up another group of characters that aren't the Avengers as heroes, and then eventually, way down the road, we get maybe like Civil War 2 in the form of Avengers versus maybe Inhumans or something else. That would be really cool. But that's all we have time for today, guys. I really appreciate it. If you have questions for Kari Payton, I'm hopping on the phone with him in just 5 minutes. Tweet them at me, at Brandon Davis BD. We're going to go inside the head of Ezekiel. It's going to be great. Make sure you're following ComicBook.com across all of social media, at ComicBook on Twitter, and at ComicBook Now on Instagram. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Happy Halloween.